Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Playing around with a lot of settings and stuff today. It's probably better. Had to move things around a little bit, playing around with music. I'm going to. I think we're going to try putting a little bit of music on the stream, see how that goes. Hopefully that's not too loud. I think that might be good. We'll find out. Y'all let me know if that is too loud. But in playing around with the settings, part of that was getting a little bit more of a quasi-permanent setup for this the second camera that I have. We used it when we started setting up this mic actually, and it was a little bit funky of a setup, and I had to play around with the USB inputs and whatnot. And now I've moved all my USB things around and got a little bit of a longer term setup. I put this might be long enough. See if I can get it. Yeah. Put the second camera on a little tripod thing. I had it laying around, not doing too much, so it was a perfect thing to use. So, what we want to do today is we want to do some Raspberry Pi. I've got a Pi 4, and I have that one all set up already and plugged in. And I got this Pi 0 a while ago, a couple months ago maybe. And I haven't actually set it up yet. And the main reason I wanted to set it up was to use it with this. It's an eInk display. We'll pull that out in a second here. So yeah, that's why I was waiting to set it up. I wanted to get that eInk display and pick a good time to stream it in. Today was a good day, so we'll see how this all works together. I don't think it's going to be too involved, but fingers crossed I don't break anything. We'll find out. Here, I'm going to switch right over. So we've got our main display here, and then I think what I'm going to end up doing is we're going to pop in our second display right here, or pop in the webcam right here. So move this forward a little bit. So we can flip back and forth a little bit, because some of it is going to be up here. I think what I'm going to try to do is SSH into it. Raspberry Pi. It's kind of just a general electronics thing that you can put multiple different types of OSs on it. So the Raspberry Pi kind of comes built with a operating system called RasOS, I think it is. And you can get like a desktop visual version of it, and you can get an SSH only version of it. Big part of that difference being the size. Obviously, if you need a desktop environment, that's going to bring along with it a lot more of space requirements. But I don't think we really need the desktop for this at all. I think for the most part, I'm going to try to set it up more like a little server that we can SSH into, do things there if we need to, and or run a little server potentially. So we'll play around with that a little bit. I know this eInk display is, I imagine there's other ways you can use it and invoke things on it, but the software that they have written for it is in Python. So I suspect we'll probably end up just setting up a little Python server on the Raspberry Pi. We'll figure that out. So that's why we pulled up I pulled up this doc right away. So you've got a little micro SD card. We'll see if it focuses. Don't focus on me. There we go. It's actually right in the USB part. If you can see it. And I've flashed it already. It has the 32-bit terminal only, so no desktop environment on it already. And that's all I've done. I haven't actually enabled you do have to enable SSH because it's kind of a security thing. You don't want to have that enabled by default. Now I scrolled past it, right? Yeah, so enabling the server, there's a couple of ways we can do it. We can plug into it, access it directly if we have a monitor. I do have another monitor if we need to fall back to that. But we can set it up using this headless option. So all we need to do is put an SSH, a file named SSH in the boot directory. So that's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna plug this in and try to put an SSH file in there. I'll mute quick while I'm moving my USB stuff around. All right. So boot directory. I'm guessing the boot directory just this without an extension onto the boot partition of the SD card. So when the Raspberry Pi boots, it looks for the SSH file. Okay, so I don't think I need to do anything special here. I can probably just do new file, call it SSH. I think that's it that we're going to need to do. Yeah. So I'll eject this. And then we probably start plugging stuff in. We're going to have to figure out how to, where the pins go and whatnot. So we might want to try to connect via SSH first to it. So I think we'll get it all plugged in and SSH into it to make sure we can at least do that. Then we can shut it all down and then plug in the eInk display. So let's go ahead and eject this. All right. Okay. Let's switch this one. Move this over. So we've got a little micro SD card here. I don't know how well this is going to focus on stuff. Come on. I got out of there for a second. Oh, it doesn't focus very fast. Okay, there we go. This is why I got this one. All right. Go ahead and pull. So we've got a little case. I don't know that we're actually going to use it. Except for this. Yeah, it looks like a mini. I think that's a mini. A mini HDMI to a full HDMI. And anytime you're working with electronics, so it actually comes in, this comes in a special bag, and it is a bag that prevents like static electricity. So anytime you're working with electronics, you want to make sure you don't have any of it built up. And it's winter here and it's kind of dry, so you might occasionally see me step off to the side. I got a big piece of metal right next to me that I touch to ground myself and get rid of any static electricity. Because I definitely do not want to accidentally shock something. It might be fine. I think it seems like electronics these days are a little bit more resilient to that, but better safe than sorry. So it looks like we've got mini HDMI, USB ports. Nope, just one USB. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, but here we can probably it's green. I forgot about that. Green screened out. There's a little text on it. Come on, focus. Focus, my friend. It's kind of doing it. There's a little text right above them, and those say what it is. Why is that having so much trouble focusing? Get it a little bit closer here. Okay. So we want to plug in this little SD card. We need to plug in the power. The power, I think, is going to go in here because it says power. SD card's going to go in here. I'm not certain which way it goes. I think that's about it that we're going to need to plug in. It does have Wi-Fi. It is a Pi 0W, which is the wireless version. I did get the Kana kit. And it comes with a few nice things like this. And that correlates to these little circle things on here. And those are the, I believe it's the GPIO pins. And it will, it tells you a list of all the pins and kind of some of them what they do. So some of them are for various inputs, input output, and some of them are power. So there's a couple of 5-volt ones up at the top there. When we plug it into the eInk display, I think we're just going to end up using all of them. This is how I understand it. But I just want to make sure that I'm putting in the card the right way. I feel like this camera is having a little bit of trouble focusing when it's really close like this. Maybe that'll help out a little bit. Okay, so camera connector on the end. We're not going to use the camera, I don't think. You can see it as Wi-Fi Bluetooth chipset. Input for power, micro USB. I was right about the mini HDMI, micro SD. We wish I would a little bit more instruction as far as which way this SD card goes in. All right, so just based on the shape of it, there's, come on, you can focus. Over here, there's sort of a little like hole, which makes me kind of think it's supposed to go this way. And I think that sort of tracks with the other ones that I've done. Okay, so it feels like it's seated in there pretty good. So, oh, it's getting green screen out on that one. Yeah, there's this little hole here. And that was what was kind of indicating to me that based on the shape of the SD card, that helped me decide which orientation I should put it in. You know, this way or that way kind of thing. Okay, so we got that plugged in. I've got a power cord here, which I should have plugged in beforehand. I thought I had. I thought this one had a switch on it. I am getting to that point where, okay, that's what it was. That's what I was thinking of. USB. Come on, focus. You had it. Oh, really? USB. This is like looking at a mirror. To USB A. So my micro USB tube, which is what goes into here, to USB. I think that's what I was thinking of. I don't know that we're going to need to use that though. Yep, I think that was it. It's one of those things where like I added a bunch of devices lately. My desk hasn't recovered from all the setup. Recovered from, rather. Okay. Oh, I just realized I actually get part of my window on my little screen over here. Not that it matters too much, but they don't match. It's just my featured.chat, so no big deal. All right, so let's get this plugged in and start it spinning up. I'm gonna mute again because I'm gonna crawl under my desk and plug it in. So wasn't paying attention. That code is really short. It's gonna be fun. I'll shift stuff just a little bit here so I can reach it. Okay, can you see the end of the connector right there? Yep. All right. Probably have to move it once I get it all set up, but this will work fine for right now. Okay, so we plug it into the power in. So you can see a little LED on there. There we go. Okay. So it turned on. I am gonna have to actually hook it up to a monitor. Even though SSH should now be turned on because we did this headless setup, I still needed to get it to connect to my network, which would be via wireless. Because we're not connected directly into the router. So I'm gonna have to plug that in. Where'd that go? I might need to run and grab an HDMI cord. So we've got. Wait, no, we did get one, didn't we? What did I do with it now? USB. Cats are looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? What did I do with it? I didn't drop it, did I? We had a micro, didn't we? Let's just double check this. Yeah, HDMI cable. It says it comes with one. What the heck did I do with it? I was shifting stuff around too much, I guess. Okay. At that. Just leave that there for a second. Was there not a... We got a cord, right? Unless we had a cord and I just put it somewhere else. I must have just put it somewhere else. All right, I think I'm gonna have to run and go grab an HDMI card. It's not a big deal, but I must have taken it downstairs and thinking I didn't need it. Put it in my box of cords. All right, I'm going to be right back then, I guess. I was muted. Wah wah. Oh boy. So I don't even remember when I muted. Probably when I was hooking up the HDMI. So monitor, picture in picture. The pink purplish screen is actually my Mac. This monitor is picture in picture. So the top right is the Raspberry Pi right now. Hooking up a little keyboard because I need to get it hooked up to the wireless. And I'm limited by the power or the length of my power cord, which is why I keep knocking over the camera because it's sitting right underneath it, which is frustrating. But okay. So plugging that in. USB keyboard. There we go. Okay, Raspberry Pi login. Getting started. I'm not sure what the... we'll switch back to this. I'm not sure what the default login is. I mean, is it just... Nope, it's not just enter. Yeah, okay, admin. Incorrect login, okay. I'm hacking mainframe. No, it's not admin. Using a USB webcam. I don't really need to. Getting started. Installing SD card, connecting display. So we're this far. I mean, we've connected it. It's working. We are so we're on. I mean, we don't we're not going to worry about updating right now. Just need to get logged in. Right. Raspberry Pi default login. Pi and Raspberry. Okay. Hey, there we go. Okay. Okay. SSH is enabled, and the default password for the Pi user has not changed. Of course, yep. We will set up a new password. This is going to only be on the local network for right now, but I'll set up a new password, probably off stream. Bunch of new Linux or Debian disclaimers. Okay, so we're all set. Now we need to set up our Wi-Fi. Remote access. We need to. I'm not too worried about finding my IP. I can do that, but I need to connect to Wi-Fi. I don't know what they set up the local network, secure shell, password, list SSH. So network boot. Oh, that's you can set up a server which will allow you to boot Raspberry Pi 3 or 4. I mean, okay. I mean, that's kind of cool that you can do that, though. I didn't know that was a thing. Schematics. Oh, this is actually interesting. This is kind of what we were looking at before. Here. I move back over here. This lists all the pins and stuff. So we need. I'm just gonna Google it again. Raspberry Pi terminal Wi-Fi connect OS Lite. So let's see. Oh, okay. So you could actually do this on. We didn't even have to do any of this. We could have just configured it directly. We don't have a wizard or a wizard here, so we can do the start the Ras Pi config tool. Not a great keyboard, so I really have to slam on the keys. There we go. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. So we need to go to network. Whoop, back. Okay, SSD. All right, we've got that. Yep. All right, I'm gonna flip back to this without my camera, so I can punch in my wireless info. Okay, so I've typed it in, now exit. Do I need to reboot? I don't think I need to reboot. No, I'm not certain. I suppose I can check. Okay. All right, perfect. So I have, I can get to my router on my phone. And that's currently what I'm looking at. It did show up on my network, so. Okay, so we are in. Please go away. Thank you very much. So we should be able to now SSH into it. And I'll end up doing. I'll end up resetting and setting up a permanent IP for this in after I'm all rocking and rolling, but let's see if we can SSH into it now. Hey, we're in. Okay, so I can flip back over to this. So this is what we're looking like right now. It's plugged in. I don't need anything connected to it anymore. And it should just start up connect and have SSH enabled now when we reconnect it. So what I'm gonna do is shut it down. I'm gonna, I guess I don't even really need to shut it down, do I? I'm gonna unplug a bunch of things. I'm gonna move this camera around. So we will shift this here. I'm gonna go back to here so y'all don't get sick. Move this camera around. Definitely pulls out a little bit hard. Those connectors. Such a small board, you know, you're scared of breaking it. Okay, so we should all still be connected. Still connected. We're still good to go. We will go like this. Okay, we are back to where we were before. Just move this out of the way. Keyboard. So we have that all set up. And now we can SSH into it. I think it's time to get this hooked up to it. So now I ground myself again. Take it out of the bag. It's not particularly static free bag. So what is, move this forward just a little bit. What's cool about this display, eInk displays, as far as I understand, that's effectively like what the like the Kindle Paperweight is an eInk display, and it only draws power when it needs to redraw the screen. So you can push an image to it. As far as I understand, this only operates off of images. So you can't send like a web page or arbitrary text to it or anything. So give it a picture file, and it will and it's a picture file that has a reduced set of colors. So you can get different types of eInk displays. This one happens to be a 7 color. You can kind of see the colors down in the bottom down here. So your picture needs to be, I'm assuming that we're gonna have to like give it a picture that only has that set of colors. But this is actually the last picture that was drawn to it, and I didn't put this on there. So I opened the box and it was like this. So this is, the manufacturer put this picture on here, and that's the last thing that's on here, which is why it has sort of a bunch of their stuff on the bottom that has their website address on it and such. I don't know if you can see it. So we need to connect it, and this is glass, so it is a little bit breakable. This front plate is glass. So we've got this, and I do really like the design of the back here. It's pretty sweet. There's this set of pins, and they kind of match up with the pins on the back, or on the Pi, which is basically these. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the Pi right into those. And it came with this. I think we just stick it through there and sandwich it in between. I'm not 100% certain though. And it does come with little standoffs. So those screw into these holes here, and it gives basically like an air gap between the components. So it's not like sitting right on top of it. There was, let's see. Thought I had a good document. I should have pulled this up before, but I think, does this have any pictures or not? I'm not 100% certain. So a bunch of this comes from GitHub. I thought this website had, you can see we will need Python. Where was that? Tutorials, dependencies, documentation, was it? Oh yeah. We will need Python. They have a Python library called Inky. Python 3, that's fine. So we'll probably have to install Python on here. But I want a, I was hoping for a picture of something that would show me which, they recommend using Pill, which is a Python image library. And I think some of that too will, I believe the term is dither, which is the function that will take an image and set it to a smaller set of colors. Yeah, so there's a few different kind of Inkies. I've got, this is an Inky Impression 7-color eInk display. Red, black, and white. Yellow, black, and white, and black and white tends to be more common. There's many more of those type of displays and sizes. As far as I know, this is the only, one of the few 7-color eInk displays, and they've got, this company has 2, and I think there's another company that has 1 or 2. So it feels like either it's a less supported electronic, like group of electronics, or it's just a little bit newer. So the technology and manufacturing hasn't evolved enough for it to make sense to do more than what's out there right now. But it feels like we'll get a few more over the next year or two. But I wanna like a picture of something. It would be real handy to have a picture of it actually plugged into it. Here. So this is kind of what we're looking at. Like, I don't think this is actually, like, is that soldered in there? Is that what they're doing here? But this actually, this gives us an indication on how we need to attach it. And I do think I'm gonna have to put some standoffs in there, and I'm not sure. It might be long enough. So like, this looks like it was just soldered right in there. But it does give us some indication on like orientation and how this is supposed to go in there. So based on the Raspberry Pi logo, it needs to be this way. So it's going to go like this. And we are going to need, actually it seems like it fits in there just perfectly fine. Maybe I won't need a standoff. So this I think goes through here, and these little pins are the connectors. So I think what's happening in this picture that we're looking at here, that is it's soldered. I'm not going to solder. I'm hoping to just use this, and I think these pins are going to be the things that provide that connection instead. And I think we just sandwich it. We put this in here and put it straight through. So we've got the orientation. We've got screws. I was a little bit worried that this power connector, move this back just a little bit. This power connector has a little bit of this is a different one, but there's a little bit of depth there. So like we need to consider that when we're putting it in. But it does look like it will lay perfectly flat and have enough room for that connector. Like I can feel it. It would be nice to have that connection a little bit more secure, but I think we can just use, we've got a couple of screws in here. We've got the standoffs, which are, pull them up. These are standoffs, and the intention is that you screw it into the board and you get extra height. So this could go into the board there, and it'll give you extra height. But I think we can just screw it directly in there. So we're just going to use this. I got a little screwdriver right over here. I'll grab that quick. I think we just screwed in and we're rocking and rolling. I don't know that there's anything else we really need to do. Plug it in and go, basically. So we need first make sure you have I2C and SPI enabled. So I don't know if this is going to let me. Oh yeah, it should. rasb config. Command not found. What am I spelling wrong? Ah, no B. No. Yep, no B. Okay. Well, make it a little bit bigger. So it didn't get bigger. Ironic. I2C and SPI. No idea where that is. So host name, boot. Network at boot. Would you like boot to wait until a network connection is established? I don't know if that matters that much. Experimental desktop GL drivers. Wireless LAN, network boot, display interface. Here we go, interface. So we need to make sure that I2C. Yes, we do want that enabled. Okay. And we also need to make sure that SPI are enabled. Yes, we do. Okay. And then we pip install. I don't know if we have. I don't remember what it comes with. Pip not found Python. So we got Python. So that's something at least. We do need to install pip. So let's do that real quick. And then if you want to simulate Inky on your desktop, on Raspberry Pi, install with that. Plus fonts used by the examples. Okay. Plus fonts. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to need to let's install pip. We'll get that rolling. Should have configuration. I guess you can just use app. Using app. Yep. Not gonna bother doing that. Python, basic Python usage. To do so, install. Yep. There's also Pi wheels, which is some pip stuff on top, but I don't know that Inky Impression needs that, so we're just going to leave that alone for right now. We're just going to use pip. We'll let that install. Then I think we shut it down, attach the board, and cross our fingers. While that's doing its thing, let's just see if we can get any more indication on how to connect it. Just so we can be quite certain. So it does run off of the Raspberry Pi org apt-get, which is interesting to know. I don't know that it matters too much, but all right. We're just gonna try Raspberry Pi 0, GPIO, no soldering. Oh, that's interesting. Adding headers without soldering. I'm not sure how this. I don't think a volume's gonna come through. I'll pause the music just to make certain. Yep. Okay. So I'm hearing it right now. I need to watch ads. Yep. Yep. We know this. So you can kind of see there's standoffs in there to keep those plastic pieces separate. So what that did was it's actually pushing a thing through it. Oh, that's not a. So it's actually pushing the pins through it. So it stays in there. I'm guessing. But I think we just want to sandwich it. Oh, this case. Here. Let's run that again. So we needed a apt-get to get the updated index. Is what I was saying. Yes, we do need that. All right. Let's check out this kit, or this case rather. I'm not certain what. So we've got. I go this way. I've got this case. Has a couple like camera connectors in there. There's also this. Not certain what that's supposed to do. the differences between these different pieces of this case. Of course, directions, you are no help. So I think they're just different covers. Cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, just depending on what you need to get at. I don't know that we can actually use this case though. So we would put it down like that. It's already hitting those Yep. I don't think we're going to be able to use the case for this, which is fine. There are and yeah, this configuration wise, I think it's supposed to set power. Yep. It's supposed to sit like that. So I guess it would be on the top. Like that's what it would look like. Which feels weird. I don't think I can get at the screws then. So I think I'm gonna just go without the case for the moment. And we're just gonna drop it in there directly. Maybe we'll end up reconfiguring. So this is good. So we should be able to have pip now. We had an hour 20. Not too bad. Hey Ryan, how's it going? You've done stuff with Raspberry Pis before, right? Or am I? You have, okay, all right. For those who don't know, Foxrow, they are in the same city as I am, and prior to setting up a webcam for watching our cat recently. Nice. Prior to the pandemic, there was a local, they called it a hackathon, or not a hack and tell rather, with the Pi Zero. Great. That's what we got right here. And it was like a hackathon, except with less structure and more about doing a thing and showing everybody what you did. So the projects that everybody was working on were rather varied, which was cool to see. There was a few people that played around with Pis at those hack and tells. They had them running for a while, but the pandemic kind of put a freeze on it, which is unfortunate. But all right, so we've got. I think we've got our Pi all set up. We're gonna shut it down, plug it in, and screw it in, and cross our fingers. You might actually know. Here we'll flip flop. I can just sandwich this, right? So that goes into here. Those are the connectors. I'm not going to bother soldering it. I could just run those right through the board. Yeah? It is a snap-in header. I'm assuming that means I just push it through. So just push it straight in there with the board in between. Just friction hold probably work, yeah. And then I've also got little screws. Camera, where are you? Come on, focus, focus, focus. So I can run those through into the board. So friction on the pins, and then I'll screw the board into. There aren't any pictures or anything. Like the only picture that I could find was them having soldered it in. So, which feels odd that they don't have more indication on like they gave me this piece. How do I use said piece? I was like, that's odd. I would have liked to have a little bit more help there. But all right, let's shut this down. Failed to set wall message. Shutdown, isn't it? Power off, I think. Failed to set wall message. Interactive authentication required. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There's a specific hammer fit slash press fit connectors for the Pi Zero. Yeah, I saw a couple of videos. Also, thanks for stopping by. I saw a couple of videos that showed that. I definitely didn't get any of those in the kit that I have or with this board, the Inky. So we'll see what we can do. As opposed to the solder ones. Gotcha. Okay. You've tried both. Great. So we have some people that know more than I do. This is the first time that I've tried GPIO stuff. So the networking I'm less worried about. Networking software I can deal with. But the hardwares and connecting the pieces I'm definitely less familiar with. So when is it shutting down? Cancel pending. Boot. Thought it did it right away. Power off. Guess not. Time. I just wanted to shut off now. Yeah, so we'll shut it down and then push this thing through. Oh, here. Well, it's doing that. There's these little orange plasticky pieces over the top of the mounting holes. All right, I only need 2 screws, so I'm gonna put the rest away so I don't actually lose them. Looks like it's just a little plastic film over the top of it. I don't know how I can easily get that out though. Because there's a screen on the other side I can't push it through. These screws actually look like they're not big enough to. It's not expecting me to have to use a standoff, is it? Maybe it's fine. I'm presuming that the screws that they gave me are big enough to fit in there, but they look kind of small. Did it actually disconnect? I was waiting for it to actually like disconnect me, but I think it just turned off. SSH window is still like stuck open. I think it's turned off. There it is. Definitely, connectors are a little bit stiff. Plugging in and out is kind of difficult. So it still has a little bit of play. Wish this would focus better. I don't know if it's just a distance thing. I think it might be. Bad camera too. You don't know what you're doing. Get a professional to do it. Somebody came in feisty. How's it going, Soko? It's been a while. All right. I'm just going to push this through. Cross my fingers. Still have a little bit of a gap there. Push on a little bit more. There you go. I heard it pop in, which feels good. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video, but so I don't have a gap between it now. And that board is just sandwiched right in there. I'm going to tighten up the screws just a smidge. Left them a little bit loose so I had some play. That's pretty firmly in there now. Not bad. How are things on my end? Pretty good. Gosh, last time we talked, I got 2 kids now. It's been a while since we talked last. It's been a while. 2 little ones. Keep us busy. Prevent us from sleeping. You know how that goes. All right, so I think we can plug it back in. Now we got a light. blocked a little bit here. Let me. Battlefield 3 or 4? 15. Holy. Kid issues are definitely different these days. Yes. What was with that random shutout? What the hell? Let's show. What are you doing, Stream Elements? I have no idea why I did that. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, holy cow. And Electronic Arts, good old friends of BF3 command? I don't think so. I don't have very many commands. I mean, it didn't trigger it again that time unless there's some weird cooldown, or there's a cooldown with it, but I don't know. That looks like a shoutout command. That looks like my shoutout command, but that should be exclamation mark shoutout. So should be able to do. I wonder if. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Hopefully, maybe one frame at a time. That's. Oh. That's the. I was literally about to say BF3 or so was the the last playable game that EA put out. So. Such a great launch. Yes. Oh, I thought I heard somebody at the door or something. Okay. So we're plugged in. Light is green, so it should be turning on. I'm assuming it's gonna. Yep, IP is stable. There we go. Okay, we're in again. We're gonna turn this over. Trying to get it situated so we can actually see this dang screen. Oh my gosh. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. So we theoretically have something there. And now we can do this. I haven't seen the syntax before. I'm going to assume they actually intend you to run that directly. But I kind of wonder if they might not. And I'm fine just installing it globally because for the most part, the only Python I'm going to run on this is going to be this. So I'll just update it. It's going to be like global board. It's fine. Okay, so that's not failing, which means I guess that is the syntax. It's been a while since I used Python. spend a little bit of time. All right, so this all gets into the scripting, and I think for the most part what we can do is use a example that they have. 7 color is what we're working with. Dot Jafif. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so dither I think is going to be what will get us down to the set of colors that this supports. Very slow. Ooh. This sets up the buttons. Detect which button has been pressed. When you press a button, it's going to do a thing. Cycle. And this sets an image. To simulate. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pull a couple of these scripts over. What are we working with? Okay, so that's the root, or that's the, what's that tilde called again? Home folder? No, whatever. We're at the tilde. So I think we'll just work off of that. We're going to create a dev folder, and we are going to probably just drop some Python scripts in there that we can run. Linux. Oh, we can curl, right? So if we do okay, so curl is a function on Linux type environments. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be Linux, but it will basically do a fetch similar to what your browser does. And so we can use curl, and we're hitting this URL, and this URL has this content, and it's basically just serving up this file. So what we can do is, I guess I don't really care about folders or anything like that. We can move stuff around, but what we're going to do is we're going to pipe it into a file. We're going to curl and pipe it directly into the file. So this will give us a, I'm guessing we got VI on here, Vim. We'll find out what we got in here. Vim maybe, or VI. Yes. Okay. So we used curl, piped it into a file. So now we have a file that we should be able to run. Let's see what they have for. Guessing their tutorial is, yeah, sort of. We're doing automatic import. Should be fine. Automatic import sets things up automatically via that, and this is going to do some things and print out stripes. So essentially we've gone through the auto setup, and then the rest is things we don't really care about. So for right now we can just run the examples directly, I think. So we can do this. what do we got? Python version is that. Oh, I didn't want. Okay, 3.9. The NumPy version is 1.22.2. I mean, we did that. Depending on your environment, we should have gotten the stuff that's needed for that. Import multi-array, libc, get an open shared object file. So this is in the like global .local. Yeah, so there's a hidden folder here that pulls in the Python stuff, and that's where it's chopped, the things that we've installed via the pip command. And there's the Python. So it looks like we might have an issue with NumPy. Is it using, doesn't use it directly. So I wonder if, let's just double check the issues real quick. NumPy. Okay, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's actually doing anything. What else do we have? So there's this. I'm guessing what it's gonna do is it's gonna wait for a signal. So like if we would run this, it's just gonna hang until we press one of the buttons. Yeah. Because hang is the wrong word. It's gonna wait. It's gonna wait until we press a button. Can we just clear it? That should be a relatively simple Okay, so there is some issue with NumPy. Dither, and this is kind of cool. So they're using a script which calls Firefox headless and basically takes a screenshot, which is sort of wild. Which might be something that we can play around with in the future. Question is, how do we work around this? So they're getting a Unicode error. Oh, as installing numpy from pip worked. Pi2 or Pi3? I mean, we want to use Pi3. So is there... All right, so it's asking for numpy. Can we do pip install numpy? Oh, install with. Excuse me. Import error. All this extra stuff distracted me. Yeah, all we need to do is... I mean, I don't... I think we could do it with pip, but I'm gonna do it with this. Okay. Try pip. Pip install numpy. So this will give us a global. The alternative is virtual environments, from what I remember of Python. I don't think they've changed how they do that. That there's also wheels now, and I think things are slowly switching to wheels. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is between, or what the expectation is between the two on which one to use these days. But their instructions are all using pip. Requirement already satisfied. So we have 1.22.2, which is what they are asking for. So we should be able to run it because supposedly we do have it. We verified we're in Python 9, right? 3.9? Yep, 3.9. Python version is that from user bin Python. Which Python? User bin Python. So just to be absolutely certain, we are running off of Python, which is 3.9.2 from user bin Python. We have numpy version 1.22.2. The original error, cannot open shared object file. No such file or directory. Oh. Okay, so the file is that, and it's doing an auto import, and that's doing an import from Inky init, which is in the site packages folder, which should be fine. This library requires the numpy module install with that. So their site, or the Inky module can't find numpy in that directory, which is interesting. So can we list what's like globally installed with pip? I don't remember. Pip takes a really long time to run on this. Oh, there we go. I think guessing I'm gonna get somebody at the door here in a second. So I am going to BRB, and we will. I don't know that we'll get an image to this thing. We'll see, but hopefully we can at least change the screen, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna be right back. Move my terminal over. to here so we can see the full thing. I did run pip list to show us what we have. We do have where to go now. Pip Inky numpy. So we do have it. So for some reason we're getting this error. So whatever we installed did bring along the correct things. Hey, B1 Mind, thanks for the raid. How was your stream? Let's go ahead and shout out. Chat overlay and style. Show my chat. That's what we're using right here. Whoop, this way, that way. Hola. Thanks for stopping by. Did you get your chat overlay all set up? It's some real slick work that Ben and folks have done on this. Show my chat. Showmy.chat is the actual website. So this is the browser source that's coming in through that. A little bit of CSS, and we have flipped things around a little bit and made it look a little bit different, but need to make another theme and finish working on the current. Yeah, good work. That's really interesting that they did it with the 11D serverless too. So pretty cool. Oh, thanks again for the raid. We are working with a Raspberry Pi and an eInk display. We're just about 2 hours. I started from having the SD card flashed. Yeah, get that food. I feel that. Streaming is draining. And I always end up streaming during times when I eat, so I definitely feel that. How many colors is that eInk? It is pretty, isn't it? So I'll give you the whole wrap. We started from just an SD card flashed with the command line only version of the Raspberry Pi OS. So we had to do a little bit of finagling because we needed to set up SSH and hook it up to the wireless. It is Pi 0 W, which is the wireless version. So we got that all set up, popped it onto the back, and now we're rolling with the eInk display, and we're trying to get that set up. And it's actually a 7-color eInk display. There's only a handful of them out there that I've seen. It looks real nice. Can I get that? Go back just a little bit. We're getting there. 7, yeah. So this company makes it's just the one, not the 2. I wanted to get the 2, but this was actually, I think the Pi 0 was a Christmas gift, and at the time they were like completely sold out of the 2. So this is V1. But this company that makes this is called Pomori, or Pomoroni. Just go with it. So they make a handful of eInk displays, along with other things as well. But they make a bunch of 2-color and 3-color displays of various sizes, and they also make 2 of these 7-inch color displays, 5.5 or 5.7 and 4-inch. So this is the 5.7. So I don't have a banana for size, but It's not huge, but it's pretty big considering. And once I get it all kind of hooked up, it's gonna serve sort of like a HUD, I guess, is what I'm thinking. Especially with that Pi 0 on there, I can pretty much just leave that running all the time. And it'll set up a little server, and I can rotate images slash have like to do ish kind of items and such. But stop focusing. It's getting a reflection. Whatever. I could actually see the camera in the reflection. That's hilarious. Okay. Yeah. I definitely had seen a bunch of the black and white ones, and a friend got this one, and I'm like, oh, that is really cool. Like 7 colors is enough that you can actually like do some interesting things with. The black and white is cool, and I've seen people use the smaller ones, like the ones that are like pretty much as big as the Raspberry Pis or smaller. But I was like, I can actually do sort of like a heads-up display task manager kind of thing with this, which would be kind of nifty. So yeah, we started from almost scratch. I was gonna flash an SD card on stream because that's boring. Not great content. But we got it all set up. We got a wires all hooked up, and now we plug this in, and we are pretty close, I think, to changing the display. And we'll probably go for another half hour. I'm hoping that we can get past this error, which we are currently running into. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, Walton. So we were getting this error, which is basically saying it's having trouble with NumPy, which is a Python module. We've installed it. We have verified that we are using the requirements that they have listed here. So it seems like there might be something with the installation. And that's kind of as far as we've gotten. And like, this feels like a potentially one of the issues that we're having. You need to app install some NumPy dependencies. Do you have any idea what? So like their installation guide says do that. We did that. We have NumPy already, but I don't know what we would need to. Can you flip the big screen again? Oh, sorry. Yes. So that's all they call for. So I'm guessing it is probably an issue with whatever NumPy is installing or needs. Put shrug on what that is or where that comes from. I mean, it's literally saying that it just needs it installed. But that doesn't actually exist on the Raspberry Pi registry. So we were looking at, I was looking at this issue before we, where did the line about cannot open shared object file go? It is right here. You can just drop it in the chat. Really? What the heck happened to the shoutout command? What did I do? Let's show error some love. Please don't show error some love. We want to remove error. Okay. Oh, this is an old one. I thought this was closed on January 13th. I thought it was opened on January 13th. Oh, let's just look. What do they have open? Driver install script. So it's possible we can run the apt-get. You might need to install libc. So there, I'm wondering if, so there's this, our Python library takes care of it. What is this going to bring in? I'm kind of wondering if I can run this script and it's going to install it for me. Holy crap, that's a lot. Okay, all right. Okay, where are we? Oh, we're going to just drop it here. Install Inky. Yeah. Could not resolve host. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I wish that's a. Wish that's a new shell thing. Let's try bash. Grab that script for blasts. Yep, that is what I'm thinking. Although I suppose I could just do it here, eh? That didn't help. I'm just gonna grab it here. Inky. And we'll just open it up with VS Code. I think that'll be a little bit easier to see. Bash. Pip lib requirement. Interesting. I kind of would have expected it to have some. Yeah, let's just rerun this. Yeah. No libc. So it does grab some other dependencies. I think I'm just gonna give this a. I'm gonna give this a run. I'm gonna try it. I suspect it probably comes with some extra stuff in here. Yes. And may explode. So NumPy has its own dependencies. Yeah, it looks like they're not getting installed by the whatever pip Inky is doing. Or yeah, I guess with pip Inky. Do you want to see what? No, just run it. Yeah. If this doesn't work, I think we'll try that Stack Overflow thing. Holy crap. Oh, we can open it up while we're waiting. I want to copy you. Okay. So that's good. Yeah. Wow. Kind of interesting that it required all of that. SPI enabled already. Great. So it updated indexes. It's checking for packages required for GPIO control. So it says resp GPIO is installed already. We did enable I2C. So we did those before we hooked it up. We enabled SPI and I2C and then shut it down and put the board on the Inky Impression. I guess. That's a good sign. So when I did apt-get python 3 numpy. I'm wondering if it's gonna give it to me. Yeah. Um, when I did apt-get python 3 numpy, it wasn't coming up in the registry. So I kind of wonder if this is gonna get it from the main Debian registry, maybe. Did you run an update first? Like apt-get update? I didn't. It's a relatively recent OS install though. I think I did it like 2 weeks ago, maybe. Possible I might need to do that too, but I didn't want to it's like updating homebrew on stream. You do brew update and come back 10 minutes later. I did do an index update though. Yes, I didn't do the full apt-get update though. I think the script did an update. Yeah, yep, it did update the index too. I did as well update the index. That was the I updated the index, but I didn't do a full apt-get update. And it did just say that it's installing. So I'm thinking that this is going to give it to us. It's kind of funny that they didn't actually mention it in the repo though. It does specifically say Raspberry Pi too. So I might open up a PR just to drop that script in there. Let them know. Yeah, I'm trying not to if I wasn't doing this on stream, I probably would just have updated everything. Just ran update on everything, but watching a script run and do installation is not terribly engaging. This feels like it's gonna work though. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yeah, so we had a couple pieces of it already. It's interesting though that this didn't what is. Yeah, all parts of the process. True. True. I mean, to be fair, I was literally following their instructions. I did that, and then I did that, and then I tried to use it. Python 3 geocoder. So I think I did just say do all the things. I don't know what, like we might start getting matplotlib. What else? There's, I mean, pill I'll use, so no big deal there. Oh, that's kind of nifty. Can output a CSS palette. Yeah, so these are the colors I'm assuming here: black, white, green, blue, red, and yellow and orange. Seems to check out. Yeah, you can see they have a little. That's all 7 colors right there. You need to get a pie and stop slacking. To be fair, I have as well. I've been wanting to play with them for a while, but part of it is like I wanted a real good use case. Nice, B1 mind. Like I wanted a really good use case before I just said I want to get a thing and try it. And that and having the time to actually do it. So like just having the use case, I also needed the time to do it. And you know, life is wild. And I finally felt like I got to the point where I could make a little bit of time to do this on the side and play around with it. Especially like this is a good fun thing to stream. Like I don't need to have a whole ton of time to do it, but if I can just do streams occasionally, yeah, right. So I've got a Raspberry Pi 4 8GB sitting on my desk right there, and I set that one up like over Christmas holidays, past holidays a couple months ago. And a Pi hole actually isn't a bad idea. I thought about doing that. That requires you to have that do the DHCP, doesn't it? I have a calendar on a Pi portal, and a Pi 4 display in the same calendar, a 7-inch touchscreen. Ooh, touchscreen, nice. What's a Pi portal? I don't think I've heard of that before. I've made by Adafruit. Yeah, we can open that one up. There's also like I've thought of doing something, and this sounds like kind of like what this is, but have something that we can like put on the. Okay, seriously, Stream Elements, what are you doing? Oh, you know what? I betcha. Yeah, it's literally just SO. Seems I screwed up my custom command. This thing is still running, so I can change that. That will take like 2 seconds. Chatbot, custom commands. So when you fill in the command name, you can also add aliases. I added an alias. I assumed the alias would be have the exclamation mark on the front of it. Because when you put like the main command name has, we can pull it down. Whoop, whoop, nope, not full screen. The main command name has an exclamation mark built into the input. when you add a command alias. What the heck? I just put exclamation mark in there. Command aliases, command keywords. Okay, so I don't want a keyword. I want an alias. That looks good. So, but if I type it got rid of the exclamation mark there. I don't know. Maybe I did it in command keywords. I'm not sure. I don't remember what I did. I'll probably look at the VOD to see what the heck I did. Did I have? Okay, I wasn't sure if I did that as I was talking just now, or if that was in there before. But it seems to be working now, so whatever I did fixed it, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So hopefully it's fixed now. Fingers crossed. The stream elements is pretty cool. I appreciate the things that they've done there. You get the little that's from stream elements. And I think my alerts are set up through stream elements as well. I love the floating emojis. That's right out. That's just like a widget right out of stream elements. I think I'll probably end up streaming things about Tari and there'll probably be a bunch of Tari streams. I've done a handful of them lately, but I'll probably continue doing more, especially since we're getting to the stable release there. But in between those, I'll probably do some browser brain. Been streaming too long. What are these called? Browser things in OBS. Use Fossabot for chat. Yeah, I had some overlays that I did custom. I think it was mostly for it was for, so we were doing some streaming as part of my like for my employer, and we set up a browser source, like a custom browser source for that. And for a little bit there, I was just using that on my personal stream, and then like it made sense to have a little bit of separation there, but I didn't have time to set up my own browser source, so I just grabbed some overlays off of stream elements. So like that background right there is stream elements. I think a bunch of these are just straight out of, go back to the, still installing. That's all stream elements. So it was pretty easy to grab one of the overlays, and that got me going. But now I'm at that point, especially since OBS 27.2 just came out, and they updated their embedded Chromium version. So now they're up to Chrome 95, I think it was, or 97. Nice. It was just one of the options in Stream Elements. You know, take stuff off the shelf, use that to get you going, and you can kind of just swap out pieces as you are ready and have the time to. So I'm kind of at that point where I've moved things around and I've figured out I'm doing recording and everything. And I got the a nice chat from Ben. So now I think it's kind of time to look at playing around with more of a custom browser source, and like with that, I can hook into the what is their name? Instafluff. I think that's their name. They made a library called TMI.js, and I got distracted. We'll look at that in a second. TMI.js, not Tim.js. I think they have their name on this. No. Something's built on top of this. Comfy.js. Yeah. Is that it? Instafluff. Yes. Yep. That's the name. Yep. Thank you. And that's built on top of TMI.js or TMI.js, and by doing a custom browser source, you can embed this kind of stuff directly in your browser source, and your actual stream stuff can respond to chat commands, which is kind of nifty. There's a few people that I know that do that. The person that I've talked to, and yeah, does Show My Chat use TMI, or does it use Comfy.js? I think TMI is kind of the lower level thing. I don't know offhand what Comfy.js does on top of it. Comfy.js, okay. But we can use either one of those, and it gives us a bunch of things that we can react to. And now with the updated version of Chromium embedded, we can use more CSS things, like the newer CSS things, than we were able to before. So we can do some fun animations or respond just directly with JS and see what we can do with it. I'm kind of interested in doing WebGL and seeing how we can respond to chat commands with WebGL. Like, I don't know if it would be like triggering animations in some WebGL piece. I don't know. That's my. I definitely want to do like animations, but my lights just turned off. One sec. There we go. I've got my lights set to turn off half hour before the end of my workday ends, because especially towards the end of the day, I gotta shovel snow. Nice. You're also in a winter area like I am. I have my lights set to turn off half hour before my workday ends. Otherwise, I just get super involved right at the end of the day, and then all of a sudden it's like half hour past when I should have ended and been starting food. And then family is not happy that food has not been started. But anyways, yeah, I think it would be fun to do some WebGL stuff. Handful of streams back, like 4 months ago, maybe, we did some things with what is that program called now? Blender. Blender can export GTF. No, not GTL. What is it now? Blender export options. I'm completely blanking on what it is. It's not helpful. I want all the options. I don't need an etc. I want to see all the options. There's a newer file type. Oh, come on, everybody just says X or etc. Okay, we are going to. I'm gonna cheat. GLTF. Yes, that's it. Yep. You can export, and we did this on stream. We exported. We did a little thing in Blender, exported GLTF, and there's both the like human readable version of that is JSON, but they also have binary options, and we exported that. And there's a GLTF renderer in React Fiber 3, I think it was, we used. And that was able to get it on a web page for us. And then we pulled it in as a browser source in OBS. So like, I'm pretty certain this all works. So now that we've got a newer version of Chromium, I'd like to do a little bit more with it because I think that would be fun. Okay. Finalizing install. Some packages could not be installed. Well, that's just lovely. We're just going to try this though. App failed. So we have a bunch of things that did install. Why would have it failed? Downloading, collecting, installing Git. Did we really get Git on here now? All right, I mean, fine. Git would actually be a easy way to keep things in sync. I can set it up as a Git push target. So we're getting a bunch of fails. Getting a bunch of fails on these installations from the repository. Might just end up having to do an update. Try updating all the things. The other thing we can try is this. Is this camera on Raspberry Pi? So this was specifically with a Raspberry Pi. Of course. We're gonna just try. Oh, OpenCV Python. What the heck? I'm not quite sure what that is. We're gonna try. Oh. I just need that. All right, we're just gonna try installing that directly. Okay. try base. So this right here is, oh, it was a lib out list base. This said, where is it? Oh, it is lib out list base. Oh, unable to locate. Yep, you're right. These things are way too similar. Scan it and have to get. I'm just like scanning it and those two just mashed together in my brain. Sure. Yeah, okay, that's what they're saying. So whatever's in, I wonder why this isn't. It's surprising that it isn't working. They might just need to update their script or something. Okay. Failed to detect an Inky board. Oh. Did we do, is there an impressions? Examples. No, 7-color. It's weird. I mean, we've gotten past part of it. So I think we've got everything that we need to run the script now. So now it's just actually getting the thing to respond. So we're just running straight up clean, and the auto import does not appear to be working. I mean, I don't think it's an older Inky. I think this one just came out. We can try it. Yeah, let's try it. It is an impression though. So like, what's the difference between an impression and a 7-color? Failed to detect. Try typing type or color. Ask user true for both. Okay. So, like, what if, guess these are all ask user true. So that must be like the they're like fallback basically. So we've got stripes and Python stripes. That is interesting. Um, and they're all doing Inky. So this one will actually wait for a button press, so we can try was button press detected. So this, we can try this one just to see if we're actually getting any response to anything. Buttons.py. Okay, detect which button was pressed. So got buttons on this side. So we'll try the top one, which I'm guessing is A. Nothing. So it's like it's not even reading the like the GPIO stuff is not even reading it. Did I activate GPIOD? I don't think I did. I don't know if the script did. It definitely did not say anything about that. It said SPI and I2C. Where is that something in the config that you have to turn on? I'm not seeing anything. I'll need to enable the pins. So, oh, interesting. PIG. I'm gonna guess that is GPIOD. Oh no, pi. Okay, I got you. Pi GPIOD. Okay. Failed to start. Interesting. Um, what was that? I have to probably call it here in a few minutes, I think. I wonder too if headset just died. Because it's not that big of a deal. You get to listen to the music and I don't. I wonder if this is kind of expecting it to be run from the desktop environment, and that's why we were missing some of these dependencies. I don't know, like, and that's why these instructions might be kind of out of date or different. What's the res? It's still in my. I think it's just rasp config. Yes. Could that be it? Is this considered remote access? If I'm over SSH, is that considered remote access? Um, so this library is used. You can control devices connected to a Raspberry Pi on the network. So that could be. That could be. I think we're gonna try it. What did I do? Yes. Nope. Nothing. Enable the daemon now. Oh, yeah, we could try that. Nope. Makes sense to try installing this, I guess. Because that's. Oh, there's an enable. How is this not any instructions? I feel like I'm doing something. Setting up. Still nothing. So buttons don't seem to be doing anything. Python clear. It's still not detecting anything. I'm gonna double check. Could reboot. Okay. That does look good. That does look good. Hmm. I mean, all that seems fine, right? So if we do clear, is it still not going to detect it? I'm tempted to say let's try restarting it. Try restarting it. If that doesn't work, I think we're going to call it. Call it a day. I got to start working on dinner here in a minute. What? It's just, yeah, right? What is this? I've never seen this wall message before. Failed to set wall message. Interactive. Ah, yep. Okay. Okay. We'll give it a restart. We'll see what that does. If that is no bueno, then I think we'll have to pick it up another day. Because we did enable. So this is for single use. Yeah, let's give it a second to restart. I'll pack a little bit of this away real quick. Looks like it terminated, so that's good. Give it a second to restart. Oh, now. Okay. Good to know, good to know. I don't shut down from the command line too often. Right. It's really like, I mean, technologically it makes sense, and like it's nifty because of that, but also like you're just so used to displays turning off when you shut things down. Okay. Okay. Going to the dev. Python. Clear. Do we still have the, yep. Let's see if this, okay, so like this is started up. I can try the buttons. Yeah. So, I mean, it's very possible that it's just like not recognizing it. I think I have it seated well. And as far as I know, it's the correct orientation. Like, you look at that, and you look at this. I mean, I can only put it facing up, or I can only face it one direction with the pins. So like it's either one side or the other side facing up. So like yeah, yeah. I think it's right. I mean, there is this little ah, oh, the other screen is covering it. There's that little tab. I don't know what that's for either. Um, it doesn't seem like enough to like prevent it from turning on though. So oh, it's a screen cover. Yep, screen protector. Yep, you're right. There was enough of a lip here that I thought it was just this little. You can see it actually in the with a little bit of the reflection. I thought it was just this piece of tape right here, but you pull on it as a whole screen protector. So you're right. Um, yeah, I don't know. I do not know, but it definitely seems like it's just straight up not recognizing it. I'll try with this dash dash type. And if neither of those work, then we're going to come back to it. Is it getting power from... I think it's just from the pins. I mean, I don't see any power on it. I think it's just pins only. Power supply might not be high enough amps. Possible. I don't feel like they give you enough information on their website for me to know without doing a bunch of digging. Did I just restart? It's not responding now. There we go. Connection reset. Not great. It says it requires I2C and SPI, I think it was enabled, which we did. Configuring I2C. Okay. I think we'll have to I mean, we did that. Yeah. I think we'll have to play around with it a little bit. Maybe we'll do that on stream. Maybe I'll just do it on this side and see if I can get something running. Looks like they've got this I2C tools. Yeah, timed out. Seems like it might have like shut itself down or something. Something crash. I don't know. We'll have to play around with it. Too bad we couldn't actually get a resetting on stream. We'll I think we'll see what we can do off stream. Maybe I can get it working. We'll probably stream again on Friday. I don't know if we'll do this. Might have to get my black and white hat out and see if I can get that running. Yeah, it feels like some of the directions just haven't kept up to date and in sync with each other. And or like, because I know Raspberry Pi updated their operating system stuff. I wonder if in doing that, they've lost some of those dependencies that just came with previous iterations, or with the desktop versus the terminal version. Lite, I think they call it, Pi OS Lite or whatever. I'm wondering if it's something like that, and that hasn't kept the Pamori stuff hasn't kept sync with it. Trying to unify their scripts on the Inky side too. Yeah, it seems like there's something there not going on. So either like something goofy is going on with the boards and they're not, my board's not starting up, or there's an issue with it. I think it's connected right. So it's either software or the hardware side. But we're definitely not getting any response at all. So something is going goofy there. And I mean, we did reboot. So like, we turned this stuff on and then we rebooted. And I think when we do get it sorted, even if I do get it sorted off stream, we're probably going to do a couple more things with it in the future. So even if we get it figured out, I'm probably not going to do too much more with it other than like, hey, it works if I do it off stream. So I think most of my messing around with this will be on stream. So we'll see. I think we'll definitely have a Friday stream. We might do another stream in between. I've got pretty much everything I need to do to hit affiliate and get chat commands, which will be fun. But I need additional streams, so I think I'm short. I think I need one more stream within the next week or so to hit it. So we might do a Wednesday stream or something. We'll see. But what's for dinner? What are we making today? Soup, I think. We're making soup. I don't remember the exact soup though. I'm sous chef today, so I'm prepping. I got a bunch of vegetables and stuff to cut up, and the wifey is gonna finish it off. It's like a white bean soup or something like that, but I'm sure I'll drop some pictures. Cool. I'll have to stop by your stream too. I haven't had a chance to catch any of them yet. So thanks again for the raid. Thanks for everybody that stopped by. Those that swung by or just came through the raid. Happy to have you all. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Otherwise, I will catch you outside of the stream. Bye.